Hello, I'm Elias Pisot, a half Western European, half Eastern European 13-year-old living in Bucharest, the capital of Romania. And today I wanted to confess my dual love for studying and social life. Because when people think about these things, they're pretty opposite subjects, right? We all think about the guy that studies as the guy that just sits at his desk all day and does not socialize with anyone besides their parents. And we all see the social, vibrant, very extroverted guy as the person that doesn't read, doesn't learn from anything, and just hates staying at his desk and studying something. So, how do you actually balance a love, a desire for both of these things without feeding in too much into one or another? How do you study and socialize the right amounts? How do you spread it 50-50? Well, you do it very simply by studying in order to socialize. You shouldn't be seeing these things as separate because whether you're a social worker or therapist, whatever, you will need studying in order to socialize better. In order to socialize, ultimately, you kind of need to help people. People are like staying around people that give them value, or at least they think give them value. Giving value is helping someone. In order to help someone discreetly, you need to study. You need to study social skills. You need to study a foreign language. If they're French and you learn French, by learning French and speaking to them in French, you'll be indirectly, no, actually directly helping them feel more comfortable during your conversations. So why wouldn't you study in order to socialize? Why wouldn't you socialize in order to study? Because studying isn't only like picking up a novel or a nonfiction book or a textbook and just staying at your desk for like 5 hours a day. No, studying can also mean going out to a party, to a bar, and actually witnessing from your surroundings and extracting from your surroundings a lesson that you can apply in your day-to-day life. It can be watching a movie. It can be going on a run, going for a run, and looking what your body tells you during that run. Maybe it tells you something that you can apply to your day-to-day life to ultimately improve yourself, to funnel achievement. These things, studying and social life, are directly correlated. They are not opposites. Maybe we see them as opposites because one's here and one's here, but we do not see like the invisible chain that cannot separate them. You need to study in order to be a good friend, a good parent, a good partner, a good son, brother, niece, whatever. And you need no, and you need to socialize in order to learn things. There is no learning, no studying without socializing. Everything you learn from is made by humans. If you're reading a book, you're ultimately socializing with the person who wrote that book. If you're talking to your mother, or your father, or your brother, or your sister, it doesn't matter how bad of thoughts you think about them, how pitiful they seem to you if you're a teenager, right? It doesn't matter if you just see that as a waste of time. If you try hard enough, you can get some really, really valuable lessons out of what your family members tell you, out of what random homeless people on the street say, the random swear words they say. If you hear a person swearing on the street, you can say, wow, what a bad first impression this swearing create. Maybe I'll stop swearing or swear on like very exact occasions in order to emphasize a message. Because if I swear all the time, it has no effect, whatever. You can learn from that. You can learn from socializing. You can learn from like being on the street, going to a bar, going to a party, going to a museum. Going to a museum is ultimately socializing with the art of another person. You can learn from that. It is very, very easy to learn from socializing. And it is very, very easy to study in order to socialize. These things go hand in hand. They are not different. They are not opposites. Maybe they're opposites because they seem so distant, but there's an invisible chain connecting them, an invisible chain making them work hand in hand. You just need to feel it, to touch it, to see it. Because ultimately, that is what is going to make you the best student and the best extroverted, most social person in the group. Seeing the correlation between intellectual thought and studying and learning and actually being an extroverted, friendly, enjoyable person to be with. I'll see you later.